You just spent your entire weekend scrubbing and decluttering, yet 3 days later, the mess is somehow back. Meanwhile, that one friend with the effortlessly spotless house hasn't done a deep clean in months. The difference between you and them has absolutely nothing to do with buying better storage bins or having more free time. It is an invisible psychological switch they flipped long ago, and once you discover exactly what it is, you will never look at a messy room the same way again. Every single day you ignore this, that recurring clutter isn't just wasting your weekends. It is quietly draining your mental bandwidth and spiking your daily stress. If you don't break this exhausting loop now, you will spend the rest of your life fighting a losing battle against your own possessions, permanently feeling overwhelmed in the exact place you are supposed to find peace. So, when the frustration finally peaks, you do what we all naturally do. You dedicate an entire Saturday to a massive, exhausting purge. You buy the expensive storage bins, binge-watch organizing shows, and scrub every surface, believing that if you just find the perfect organizing hack or the right label maker, your space will magically stay neat forever. We've all been taught that a clean house is simply the result of hard work, discipline, and a strict chore schedule. But then, 2 weeks later, those exact same piles quietly creep back in. And that is because the true secret to maintaining a flawless space actually has very little to do with how well you clean. It has everything to do with how you think. The unspoken truth that naturally tidy people share isn't a secret folding technique or a color-coded schedule. It is a fundamental shift in identity. While the rest of us treat cleaning as a desperate rescue mission to fix a disaster, they operate on a completely different psychological baseline. They aren't managing physical objects. They are managing their mental bandwidth. To them, clutter isn't just stuff out of place. Clutter is simply delayed decision-making. And the second you stop fighting the objects and start fixing the decisions, the entire game flips. But here is the massive catch, and it completely contradicts everything the home organization industry is trying to sell you. Naturally tidy people do not actually love cleaning. In fact, they might be the laziest people on the planet. The dark little secret is that they haven't mastered extreme discipline. They've mastered extreme friction reduction. They aren't making better decisions than you every single day. They are making drastically fewer of them. While you are burning precious mental energy debating whether that random piece of mail goes on the counter, the dining table, or into a junk drawer, they aren't deciding at all. They made that choice exactly once, 5 years ago. They don't organize. They aggressively eliminate the very conditions that make organizing necessary. Every single item in their house has a strict, non-negotiable zip code, and returning it there isn't a chore. It is an automated, completely thoughtless reflex. Think about how the average person handles a chaotic room. They immediately try to hide the evidence, buying aesthetic bins to shove the mess out of sight, mistaking visual emptiness for actual order. But here is the fatal flaw in that approach. You aren't solving the problem. You are just playing an expensive game of Tetris with your clutter. You are institutionalizing the chaos. By relying on willpower to constantly reorganize items you shouldn't even own, your system is guaranteed to collapse the second life gets busy. Tidy people completely bypass this trap. They know that the most meticulously labeled storage box in the world is just a pretty coffin for things that serve no actual purpose. They don't try to beautifully contain the mess they ruthlessly evicted. And this brings us to their absolute unfair advantage, the core secret that makes their lifestyle entirely effortless. They have completely rewired what they value. While the overwhelmed mind looks at an empty shelf or a bare countertop and sees a void waiting to be filled, the tidy mind sees the ultimate luxury, breathing room. They possess a ruthless, almost biological defense mechanism against acquiring more stuff because they understand a terrifying truth that most of us ignore. Every single object you own is a silent, binding contract. It is a recurring tax on your physical energy and your mental clarity. You aren't just keeping a random gadget or saving an old item just in case. You are actively signing away your future freedom to dust it, store it, and stress over it. Their unfair advantage isn't a superior cleaning hack. It is the profound realization that protecting their peace of mind is infinitely more valuable than protecting their possessions. But making that shift is exactly where almost everyone hits a brutal, paralyzing wall. It is easy to value peace in theory until you are standing in your bedroom holding an expensive gadget you've never used or a sentimental gift you secretly despise. Suddenly, all logic completely vanishes. You are hit by a suffocating wave of financial guilt, the fear of future regret, and the toxic grip of what if. This is the ultimate trap. We are culturally hardwired to believe that letting go is inherently wasteful, financially irresponsible, or a direct betrayal of our past memories. So, you freeze. You safely tuck the item right back into the drawer, promising yourself you will deal with it later. The system immediately collapses, the clutter reclaims its territory, and you are locked right back inside a physical and mental prison of your own making unless you are finally willing to confront the one terrifying truth that stands in your way. And that truth is simply this: the money is already gone. The moment you purchased that item, the transaction ended. Keeping a useless object inside your home does not magically refund your bank account, it just charges you a relentless daily rent in the form of stress and anxiety. And those guilt-inducing sentimental gifts? The memory lives completely inside of you, not in the physical material. This is the exact, invisible psychological switch that your effortlessly tidy friend flipped long ago. They realized that their home is not a subsidized storage unit for past mistakes, inherited obligations, or paranoid future anxieties. It is a living sanctuary meant to protect the person they are right now. The ultimate secret to a forever clean house was never about finding the perfect way to organize your clutter. It is about giving yourself the radical, unapologetic permission to outgrow the things that no longer serve you. The moment you stop treating your possessions like a life sentence, the invisible weight vanishes. You aren't throwing away your past. You are finally making room to actually live in your present. So the next time you stand in the middle of an overwhelming room, stop asking yourself how to neatly organize it. Instead, ask yourself what you are willing to let go of to get your peace back. Because at the end of the day, a tidy home is not a measure of your worth, and it is certainly not a test of your discipline. It is simply the physical manifestation of a quiet, intentional mind. If you are ready to stop managing your clutter and start reclaiming your energy, hit subscribe. We dive deep into the psychology of intentional living and minimalism to help you design a space that actually serves you. Let me know in the comments, what is the one heavy item you are finally giving yourself permission to let go of today? Take a deep breath, clear that space, and I will see you next time.